This is episode 39, the complex sentence. Okay, so today we're going to look at complex sentences. In the last video, we learned that the compound sentence has two or more clauses. We learned that they had to be main clauses or independent clauses, and that they used a coordinating conjunction to marry those clauses together. So a compound sentence has a main clause and another main clause married by a coordinating conjunction. Now the complex sentence also has two or more clauses, but this time only one of the clauses is a main or independent clause. The other is called the subordinate clause or the dependent clause. So in this situation we have a complex sentence which is the main clause and a subordinate clause or a dependent clause. So let's have a look at some sentences to see how that's different. Our first sentence we're going to look at is this one. He played the piano while the children gently slept. Now, like with the compound sentence, the first thing we need to do to figure out how many clauses there are in the sentence is to see how many verbs there are. So let's do that first. We have played, which is a verb, and we have slept. So that's two verbs. Now let's see if these verbs have a subject. So for played, who played? He played. So he is the subject. And for slept, who slept? The children slept. So there are two different subjects in this. There's he and the children. So we definitely have two clauses in this sentence. Now there is a conjunction joining these clauses together, and this conjunction is while. Now we might remember that in order to determine whether it's a coordinating conjunction or not, it has to be part of our fanboys. That is, for, and, nor, but, or, yet, or so. There is absolutely no W in fanboys, which means that while is a conjunction, but it's not a coordinating conjunction. It's a subordinating conjunction. Now, apart from the fact that it's not part of fanboys, how is it that we know that while is a subordinating conjunction and not a coordinating conjunction? Well, it's because while and whatever clause is that follows, all of that together is actually acting as an adverbial. That is, it's giving an information about when, where, and that kind of information, how often, or the likelihood, the kind of information that adverbials give us, it's giving us that information. So what kind of information is while the children gently slept giving us about playing the piano? Well, it's giving us when he played the piano. When did he play the piano? Well, he played the piano while the children gently slept. So this clause can't stand alone by itself, while the children gently slept, because it's incomplete. This while here is actually answering a question. It's giving us information about something, in this situation, about when he plays the piano. And so while in this situation is a conjunction, but it's not a coordinating conjunction, it's a subordinating conjunction. And that makes the children gently slept, or while the children gently slept, a dependent or subordinate clause. Why don't we have a look at that in another sentence? Here we have, he had to walk because he missed the train. Okay, so first of all, step one, we count the verbs to make sure of how many clauses there are in this sentence. So in this situation, had is a verb and missed is a verb. They're both in the simple past tense, and they both have their own subjects, he and he. They share the subject. And there is a conjunction, and this situation conjunction is because. He had to walk because he missed the train. Now in this situation, because is giving us why something is the case. Why did he have to walk? Well, he had to walk because he missed the train. Okay, so because he missed the train in this situation is the subordinating conjunction, and is the subordinate clause, and he had to walk is the independent or main clause. All right, let's have a look again at a different complex sentence. So she ran until her legs hurt. So step one, we find the verb, of course. So here we are. We have ran as a verb, and is there another one? Yes, there is, which means that even though it's a short, succinct sentence, it's still a complex sentence. And if there's two verbs, we're hoping that there'll also be two subjects. So let's have a look. Who ran? She ran. What hurt? Her legs hurt. Okay, yes, there's two verbs, two subjects, and that leaves just until, so until must be our conjunction. Well, it's not part of fanboys, so it's not a coordinating conjunction. So we're going to ask ourselves the question, does it answer one of our adverbial prompts, such as when or where or how, or giving us a likelihood? Well, I think in this situation, it is actually answering a when question, or until when. How long did she run? Well, until her legs hurt. So it's giving us additional information. In this situation, therefore, until her legs hurt is a subordinating conjunction, a subordinate clause, and she ran is the main clause in this sentence. All right, so hopefully you're understanding the difference between a compound sentence and a complex sentence. The relationship between the clauses in a compound sentence is one where both clauses have equal standing, whereas in a subordinate clause, this subordinate clause is actually providing extra information to support the main clause. It's giving us an adverbial, it's giving us that extra information in this situation. So as I said, there are lots of ways of creating subordinate relationships between clauses, and I really, on the whole, have only looked at how it works with conjunctions and subordinating conjunctions. To go further into that, you'll have to wait for another series called Discourse, which is focused more on packaging information and how we package that information together. And I will look at all the different ways of packaging information and creating relationships between clauses. And there's a lot of complex relationships in there. So that's all I'm going to cover for there. Until then, until our next video, we're going to look at the compound complex sentence, which is our final sentence type, before we move on further. So the compound complex sentence is where we're going next. And until then, thank you for watching The Language Code.